Hey guys, it's me, Ronnie, Bad Jones Rising, aka Ogre Mesa on Instagram. I thought this would be a really cool time to actually give you a step-by-step little journey through the pocket letter that I made. This is the very first one I've ever done. Let me make sure that's straight. Okay. Basically, pocket letters are, I'm guessing they're somewhat of a creation from Jeanette Lane. I do not follow her. I didn't even know who she was until I saw pocket letters on Instagram. I never wanted to make one. I thought they were a little over the top, I'm not gonna lie. But this one was inspired by Steph Dodson. Steph and I have been sending mail since, I don't know, 2010, 2011. It's been about 4 or 5 years. And, I don't know, she was just doing some really cool stuff with it, and I said to myself, you know, let me see if I can make one that fits my style. A lot of pocket letters look the same. They're pretty much all the same on Instagram if you look at up the hashtag. Personally, I like mail art to be original. I like to include my own things, my own envelopes, my own collages, my own, 4x6 papers. But the pocket letter is an interesting take on mail art. If you don't know what it is, basically is mail art dissected into, several little pockets. They're mini pockets, less than 3 inches a piece. There's 9 of them in an artist trading card sleeve or baseball card sleeve if you have one. It's a neat way to fill up with scraps or, stickers or scrapbooking bits and pieces. My challenge for this was actually to send as much handmade items as I possibly could. So every single pocket is something I have made, except for these little bits right here. They're just like craft paper that I've collected in tags. And then down here I've got some labels and some cheese stickers. But I'm going to go through each little pocket, and I want to show it to you out and dissected. Okay, so basically I have collected these little stamps that I made. I made this stamp out of a linoleum block, and I carved it myself and just used some cheap acrylic on some cheap construction paper. It's really great because they're super thin, they layer well, you can gesso over them, use matte medium, whatever floats your boat, and they layer very nicely. Thought this would be cool to send to someone because they can use it in their mail art or sketchbook. Also, I included an ATC. I haven't been seeing a lot of ATCs in pocket letters, but this particular one, I don't know, it's part of a collection, and I thought it would be cool to send. You can send blank ones, and then when your recipient gets it, it's kind of cool to let them finish it, and then, it's kind of like a little collab. But this was just a recycled cardboard, and this is 4 of 10, so I made 10 of these, and I'm sending one of my favorites in the pocket, and it just slips in there, and they can put it on their wall. This pocket up here, I included some paint chips. They were too big, so I had to cut them down. And here's some photocopies of some golfers that I drew back in the day. The biggest challenge for pocket letters, or for me, making pocket letters, was the size. It's very, very difficult for me to find things this small. I had to cut down a lot of things. If I did want to include something, I had to fold it in half or cut it so it fit into the pocket. This row right here, these are little fortune with notes. Most pocket letters have the actual note or letter. I'm not big on writing. To my pen pals, I just like giving them cool stuff that they can use for art. So I kept them short and simple, and I made these little tiny fortunes that I used to make in school. And I just folded them up into the square, and then I washi taped them. So it is kind of neat to unwrap those and unravel them and make fortunes out of them. So, and then if you look here, I've got some painted paper that I just stamped out into little circles. Those would be cool to use in your sketchbook. And these are little envelopes. I actually made these myself. I just traced a coin envelope and cut it out and came up with this really cool. And then there's one here, cool little envelope there. Same thing. So it's just paint. And then I included some of these little words I make. I actually include these in my goodie envelopes that are on my online shop, and I sell at Third Friday and Art Walks. So they make great art prompts, art journal prompts. You stick one down and use the page basically as a theme, and I thought that would be cool to include. And Codes of the Fortune also. And there's these tags I mentioned earlier. This is from a bottle of wine, some Cabernet, and this is a neat little one. I think I got these from Target in the 99-cent section, you know, the first part of Target where everything's super cheap. And some cardstock. Craft paper's cool because neon looks good on it, pastel and white. I use a lot of craft paper. I did not make these little I did make this little sticker here. If you look down here, there's some cheese stickers. And I'm just going to stick those in here. This is my own little sticker. See that? I actually included a graph sticker. I make these and sell these at the fair too. It's just my BJR, Badger Rising. It's got some of my orbs that I do. And I thought that'd be cool to send. But I had to fold it in half because it doesn't fit. It's so tiny. Some labels. And then this is the first time I ever did this. I get a lot of these in the mail. This is a mail art thing. I never thought of this, but people just love sending these to me. And I mean, hey, I love it. I love washi tape. It's cool. You just take a card, and you wrap it several times. I use 3 here. So you just use as much as you want or as little as you want. And it sticks in there. It lays nice and flat. It's really cool. Adds some stability and some sturdiness to the pocket letter also. And then this last one down here is actually it's just some arrows and some random miscellaneous mixed media stuff. This arrow is part of a collection that my friend Kate actually gave me. She's always giving me like really cool scrapbooking stuff. And I thought, why not trace them? So I took some smaller ones and I traced those, and it's really thin paper, good for art journaling and sketchbook work. And then I made this tag. This is just mixed media paper, both sides. I believe it's watercolor paper from ages ago. And these scraps just lay around my studio, so I just, you know, I want to put them to good use. I like things that have dual purpose, dual function. So I just glued both sides, put a reinforcement tag, little mail label tag, punched a hole. And now if you put a little piece of string through it, you have a perfect little tag, something like that. So, not a big deal. Easy. Super. It took me like 5 minutes. And then there's this little watercolor card. I use these as business cards when I'm at Third Friday or art talks, art walks. It's just watercolor paper, blank on the other side. I like to keep it blank until I'm ready to write on it, obviously, because you can write on it. It's a note card. You can glue it down as is. I don't keep business cards in my wallet. I take them and I either paper clip them in my books, my notebook or my sketchbook, or I washi tape it down, and then it can be lifted. So it also adds color, but you can always go back and refer to the info on the back. I think it's silly to keep business cards forever and ever. You just have them and never use them. So, and plus you have the internet, so you can always Google something. So these are my little business cards. Okay, so I'm gonna move all this stuff so you can see my actual. I wanted to show you everything that was inside. You move these all over, and then you're left with the cover. So when the person gets the envelope, it's going to be folded. It folds just like this. And then when you unfold it, there is a nice little display. Most pocket letters that you see on Instagram are one big picture chopped up. What I did instead was I made one huge drawing and I cut it up, and then I went back and drew on each one. Made some cool marks. I used everything you could think of that was on my desk. I like the randomness of it. I like variety. I don't like it to have just, you know, a picture of a face cut in. You know, some people are really, like Steph, she did one with like a typewriter, and it was just awesome. And she did a beach themed one. That went to someone I follow on Instagram. I can't remember, but it was great. It was like a girl up here on the left hand side, and there were some words and lots of layers. Really, really nice. But that's not my style. My style is random, color, bold stuff. You know, I don't know. It reminds me of like Rocko's Modern Life or like some 80s Saved by the Bell stuff. I don't know. So if you turn this over, it's blank. I left them blank because I thought it'd be cool to use them. I want someone to take every little card out and use it in their sketchbook or write on it as a note card. I think it's silly to just have it. I wouldn't hang this on the wall. I would take everything out and use it. I think that's kind of the purpose for me anyway. I think it's, you know, you send somebody something, you want them to use it in more art. That's part of the joy of it. I send you art, you make more art with it. You take that art, you send it to someone else. So that's my pocket letter. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Definitely follow Steph on Instagram. I'll put that in the link down below. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you should, because I update often. I do a lot of work with color and mail art, so if this is something that interests you, it's the way to go. Pocket letters are for you. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.